According to SMIDAN, that is the Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria, 80% of micro and nano businesses fail within the first 5 years of establishment and hardly grow past, that survival stage. In my experience, supporting thousands of micro enterprises in the past 5 years, and of course, experience in establishing micro businesses myself, I will agree with this data coming from SMIDAN. And yourself, look at businesses, maybe started by your friends, family members, somebody in your community in the past 5 years, and compare, look at the businesses and see how many of them have actually remained same in terms of size from the time they were established till they remain the same size. Many of them, you realize, have actually shrinked, and very few of them have recorded incremental or significant expansion and growth. Of course, there are a lot of factors that have been penciled down as a reason behind the struggle of the majority of micro enterprises in Nigeria. In my own experience, like I mentioned, one of the major factors that I have seen play out is the problem of ideation. So the problem of the majority of these micro enterprises starts from the whole concept, choosing an enterprise to venture into. Let me break it down. You might have actually met somebody in your family, a friend, a relative, somebody in your community who is starting a business because of trend. They see other people doing a certain business and they also want to do the business, probably because they see that person doing well as a result of that business. They don't ask questions. What exactly are the challenges of that business? What are the ups and downs? They never ask. This person is into this business, then I need to venture into it as well to make money. And then they venture into these businesses and they begin to struggle. Another problem is the problem of passion. We have a lot of people who venture into businesses they don't have passion for. They don't see a future in that business. Ask them, do you see yourself doing this business in the next 5-10 years? And they tell you no. But rather they feel it's a transit. Let me just start something before I actualize my bigger dream. Of course, that is not entirely bad in itself. But the problem associated with starting a business you do not see a future in is you tend not to invest the right energy, the right time, the right resources to grow that business. You are entering that business half-heartedly. You are not in fully because you are looking at that bigger picture, that bigger thing you see a future in. And now, to make the matter worse, sometimes you are doing one business, you are not giving it all of the attention and the investment it requires, and then where you are heading to, that bigger picture you are looking at, you don't have enough time to invest in actualizing it. So you lose both. Not what you are currently doing and not what you are looking at. Another problem you tend to see is people who are starting businesses and they venture into markets that are saturated, something that every other person is already doing. And they are not going in with any form of differentiation, with any additional value to make them stand out. Rather, they are going into a market that is saturated, and a time will come, it's, the whole space begin to weaken, and then you see businesses failing in that enterprise. So my advice for micro enterprises, or for whoever wants to venture into any business, one, is to ensure you have passion for what you are doing. Be sure it is something you see yourself doing in the next 5, 10, 20 years. See a future in what you are doing. Two, carry out your assignments. Do your research. You mustn't have well-structured tools and framework for research, but ask questions. Those who are already doing that same business or similar businesses, ask them. And don't be out there asking for the positives, the advantages and the profit margins they get in that business. Ask them more on where they have failed. What are the challenges? Because your ability to overcome those challenges creates a fertile ground for you to grow in any business. So ask questions. If it's possible for you to learn directly and get mentorship for people who have actually grown to the peak of their career in that business, please do that. It's very, very critical if you must go, in any business. And like I mentioned earlier, one of the major reasons why people suffer is because they venture into saturated market. Please avoid saturated markets, but rather go into markets that are underserved and have high demand for that particular product or service you have to offer. So if you have different markets to play in, go for markets that are underserved and have high demand. As much as possible for a start, avoid saturated markets because you won't be as competitive as people who have been in that market for quite a long time. Especially if you don't have anything, any additional value, anything that differentiates you from them. You're only going to get lost in the crowd and you begin to struggle and struggle and struggle. And of course, you won't see, the results from all of your efforts. So check the businesses around you, family members who have struggled. Ask them what are the reasons why they feel they struggled and their businesses fail in the first 5 years or never grew past that survival stage. Thank you.